Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another AirsoftAL's Media Reviews, which has been a while, actually. And just so you know, I have missed... I kind of forgot to do the 3 chapters that we're going to be covering today because, well, I was a little depressed. I was dealing with isolation the best I could, and, yeah, no, it wasn't exactly working out pretty damn well. So, yeah, that shit fucking happened, and, it's just how it is. Also, I kind of lost my mind a little bit and shaved off my stash, so babyface Al for this episode of Media Reviews. But either way, though, we're here for America and the world. So, ladies and gentlemen, 3 chapters to cover, 2 of which don't care about, 1 of which we do care about. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at the 2 chapters that we probably don't care about. We're just going to skip over fairly quickly, and we're going to actually get to the chapter that we actually want. So, we're going to take a look at the interlude chapter, which technically is chapter 30, but not exactly. What is the interlude? It talks about the elves. And for the first time ever, I'm actually disappointed in Ron. Ron has been able to deliver us bombastic scenes, battles, historical references, and here...
What the hell was that?
Kind of disappointing. I only say this because Ron could have done more. What is the story for the interlude chapter? Well, we take a look at the elves and, of course, at the somewhat civil war, I guess you could say. It's more of a reversed Operation Valkyrie, where instead of the Wehrmacht taking over against the Nazis, it's the Nazi elves taking over against the monarchs, or at least the loyalists, or in this case, sort of what would happen if the Nazis kind of overthrew the Kaiser. Stuff of that nature. Basically, these guys overthrow the king, blah, blah, blah. And don't get me wrong, it is interesting, but Ron could have done more. I mean this, Ron, in the most respectful way possible to you as a friend now, because I see you as a friend. You could have done more. I mean, my God, you could have done more. I mean, in the most literal sense, I am saying this as a reverse Operation Valkyrie. A reverse Operation Valkyrie. Do you have any idea how fun you can have with that? I'm not joking on this, Ron. You could have just gone all out, and we would have not cared. We would have ate it up pretty quickly, because you have the talent to make bombastic, fun set pieces. And in this case, you could have done more. You could have. But what's the chapter as a whole? Like I said, a reverse Operation Valkyrie, where the king basically tries to escape through a tunnel, much like Sabaton's The Last Stand, and comes across some knights who were supposed to be royal knights, but in reality aren't, because, surprise, motherfucker, they're Nazis! I'm not joking. When I read this scene, this was what came to mind.
Is it really you?
Yes, my dear. I guarantee it. Would I lie?
Yes, I'm going to be trying to incorporate more Spaceballs clips, as well as maybe some Hot Shots clips, which you are more than welcome to suggest down in the comment section down below. But what I'm saying is, Ron, Boobala, you could have done more. You really could have. But either way, it's a decent chapter, but nothing to write home about. It's just there. I mean, it does give some interesting world building, but it's just there. Moving on to the next chapter, which of course is the actual chapter 30, and it's the naval fight with the goddamn elves. I'm not joking when I said the elves are basically pushing against the Mach. They are literally kicking their ass. I mean, not the Mach, the Magus, my bad. Basically, the Otherworld Frenchies, they're kicking their ass. The Maginot Line has fallen. And they're in a full goddamn retreat. They're even losing out at sea with the Nazi elves' U-boats basically sinking their ships. They are losing the battle. And even with the Frenchies' own U-boats, they're getting blown out of the water because, of course, the Nazi goddamn elves have some fucking advanced goddamn radar. Because, of course, they would. Because they're fucking Nazis. Let it be said that even though the Nazis were horrible motherfuckers who basically killed people and did ethnic cleansing out the fucking wazoo, at least their technology was pretty advanced for the time period. So it makes actual goddamn sense that the Nazi elves would actually have advanced technology since, oh, I don't know, 150 years they've been under the goddamn sea, and of course, They have the advanced fucking technology to do that? Either way, though, Chapter 30 actually is decent, and you can actually enjoy it for what it is. It really is fun. But then you realize, isn't America supposed to be in this?
Of course!
Yes, indeed, Jimmy boy! Because America is in this. And by God almighty, the chapter for America to finally come in and finally do what it does best, like Vader over here in his tactical outfit with the fucking M4 on his back, is to bring them the freedom.
Well, we're waiting.
And what happens? Well, the Navy has their time to shine again. Again, I'm an Army brat, so of course I'm going to take a little bit of issue with the fact that through the entire goddamn series up to this point, all the chapters up to this point, it's been the Navy, the Marines, and the Air Force getting the limelight, and the Army, and the Air. And I'm not joking on this. I am one of those guys who's disappointed that one of the branches is not represented, including, mind you, the United States Army, baby. Because the Army has not had its time to shine since chapter goddamn 1 when we kicked some fucking giant bird ass. And what I mean by that is that there ain't no Army so far, ain't no Airborne so far, ain't no Delta so far, ain't no Green Berets so far, ain't no goddamn Rangers so far. Where is the Army?
Hey, First Sergeant. Good morning.
You can do it in the Army.
Ron, I have been patient to this point. Where's the Army? Where's my Army? Going on from that little tangent, what about the chapter as a whole where the United States comes in? Well, we open up with, of course, talking about the Suomi kingdoms, the Beastmen. And come to think of it, I actually do have a little bit of a theory here, because while, yes, I may be disappointed knowing the fact that the United States Army isn't getting its love, nor the representation it is, and I know every single one of you goddamn squids and jarheads and fucking cheer force motherfuckers are probably laughing your goddamn asses off in the fucking comments section, because I know you are, you sons of bitches! And to retort that, fuck you, you goddamn squids, and Marines, you couldn't do shit without the Navy boats, and cheer force, don't forget you were Army Air Corps! You were us! Till you became your own fucking branch, motherfuckers, we still own your asses! Either way, though. So, the Swamis are, of course, the Beastmen, and I've had a little theory about this. Because, like I said before, even though the Army isn't exactly getting its limelight yet, I hope to God it does, there is a nice little theory I like to throw out there. We haven't seen the PMCs yet. And when I mean by PMCs, I mean private military contractors. We haven't seen them yet. And if you know PMCs, and I'm just saying this now, if you know PMCs, you know damn well they're probably having a goddamn field day. Hell, we haven't even seen the CIA yet doing its shit. And we know damn well the CIA is probably having a goddamn field day with this shit. I mean, they're literally in a world with no United Nations. The United States government essentially said, oh yeah, we're not going to follow the Geneva Convention no more, but it doesn't mean we're going to start dropping fucking chemical bombs left and right, and we're not going to fucking drop nukes left and right. Although they didn't say anything about atom bombs or hydrogen bombs, I'm just saying. Mind you. With the fact of basically telling the CIA, oh yeah, free reign, motherfucker! I mean, literally, the CIA is probably seeing this world as basically fucking free real estate! Just like a goddamn hentai artist looks at a character and is like, free real estate? I'm dead serious on that. We're probably going to see the CIA doing its shenanigans. We probably are. Moving back to the PMCs, however. Like I said, the PMCs are probably having a field day because, like I said, if anyone knows private military contractors as a whole, or simply contractors, or really, as we love to call them, mercenaries, they're probably having a field day right now, offering their services to everyone and their mother who has the gold to pay them. And yes, I said gold because, technically speaking, the US dollar isn't really in circulation in this world, so mercenaries are probably having a field day getting paid in gold. Now, with that said, apparently the Beastmen kingdoms are not exactly doing well, or at least in this case, they're fighting off the elves as best they can. And the fucking French are over here trying to get them to come help them, even though, I'm surprised there hasn't been a goddamn revolt. Here's the thing, guys. If you know anything about the French, you know that there is always a revolution right around the corner. You know, they're always rebellious, and I wouldn't be goddamn surprised if the military, much like in World War I, staged a coup and basically forced the government to come to the U.S. because they have to tell them to get their heads out their ass by gunpoint, essentially, to ask the Americans for help. I'm not joking on that. That's probably going to fucking happen. Because, psychologically speaking, the French are always like that. Moving on to the Americans, thankfully enough. And what is the Americans doing? Well, they've tracked down, right there near the Beastman Kingdom, a destroyer fleet. Yes, a destroyer fleet of Nazi elf destroyers. Think World War II, Kriegsmarine destroyers. You'll get the picture. So, these motherfuckers essentially start coming up, and here's a nice little thing about Navy doctrine I think not a lot of people know about. The Navy actually does coordinate with submarines to actually have advanced radar and even much more advanced scouting, so yes, you're about to see some naval warfare, some submarine warfare from our boys. And let's just say it's actually pretty fun, because they contact the elves right off the goddamn thing. Like, well out of visual range, they contact them, let them know that they are going to be coming near them, or at least, you know, they ping them, essentially. You get what I'm saying. And then when they finally come in visual range of the American Navy, because, of course, the American Navy, at least it ain't Stargate, where the fucking chair force is getting all the glory. Much as I do jest with the military branches, I do love Stargate SG-1, my favorite show. Haven't finished it yet. I'm going to. I'm on season 9 now. I swear to God I'll finish it. Much like I'll finish Star Trek, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, and of course Voyager. I've started a lot of good shows I haven't finished yet, folks, so bear with me on this. I'm a nerd, okay? Moving on. So they send out a Seahawk and basically inform them, well, not really a Seahawk, I think, basically a fucking helicopter, and inform them, hey, we're the United States of America, either slow the fuck down and talk to us, or be freed!
Yeehaw! Ride 'em, Bulldog! USA! USA! USA!
The elves' response?
Unleash the fire of 1,000 arrows.
You mean the machine gun?
Yes.
Yeah. They basically said, fuck it, open fire. To the Americans, they see this as, well, diplomacy just failed. Time to bring the freedom.
My name is Inigo Montoya, motherfucker!
And the freedom they do bring, it is amazing. Because, here's a nice little thing about naval formations. For those who may not know, and this is actually public knowledge, so you can research it yourself and find out about it, but naval formations, when it comes to the actual command ship, or essentially the flagship of the Navy, and this actually came about from World War II, from my understanding of my grandpa, who, or not my grandpa, my great-grandpa, who actually served in the Navy as a Master Chief Petty Officer on a actual naval destroyer during the Korean War up to Vietnam. A flagship, or at least the command ship of the task force or fleet or what have you, will actually take a rearward formation away from the fighting, or even a centralized position in the formation. In this case, the Nazi elves have put their command ship at the rear of their formation, forming up a sort of protective shield, while the United States carrier group, of course, which, yes, is a carrier, is actually forming up around the aircraft carrier, being more towards the rear and not completely in the rear, where it isn't essentially exposed. Now, here's something I think a lot of people don't know, is that we actually use submarines, like I said before. There is a submarine right behind those motherfuckers. I'm not joking on this. We got a U.S. Navy sub right there behind those Nazi motherfuckers, and he is basically got a finger on the trigger and pulls it and sinks the command ship of that destroyer group. Chaos ensues!
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
Friendly fire erupts! Tomahawk missiles falling! I know they're not tomahawks. Essentially fucking anti-ship missiles start falling all over the place. We bomb them back to the Stone Age! And we free the shit out of them!
I am The law!
Oh, yes! Like I said, I'm fucking enjoying this. And the best goddamn part is that the last line of dialogue essentially boils down to, well, we did our part. Now time to bring the freedom. Or, essentially, they went there initially to basically try and have an open dialogue. Try and be diplomatic. And anyone who knows fucking Nazis ideology at all, and even understands the whole idea of Nazi elves and the whole thing with that,
from where you're kneeling must seem like an 18-carat run of bad luck. Truth is, the game was rigged from the start.
they weren't going to talk. They were going to essentially shoot first, ask questions second, like an 80s action movie. Well, 80s and 90s action movie star, or aka John Wick, if you want a more modern action film. And I'm not gonna lie, it's enjoyable, it's bombastic, it's what we're here for, goddammit! And I am looking so forward to America's involvement. And I can go ahead and give you speculation at the moment, because if I had to guess what would happen next, and swear to God, Ron, if you do not get the Army's time to shine, I will reach through this camera and I will slap you up the head. And I mean open palm slap. Not backhand slap like a pimp. No, I mean open palm slap. Now here's my speculation for the next couple chapters. We will probably see involvement from the PMCs, because even though America probably will not get involved in the Swami, or at least the Beastmen Kingdoms, I can safely say that probably the PMCs will. And we'll probably see them give the Beastmen some old equipment from, like, Vietnam or Grenada, giving us something along this. Cue up Fortunate Son. Moving on from there, I can see America actually doing its job. And the elves, or not really the elves, but in this case the Magus, essentially holding the line until the people in the rear with the gear actually smacks the shit out of their leadership and basically tells them, look, we need the fucking Americans here. Either get off your fucking ass and realize that we're losing this fucking war and actually ask the Americans for help, or we're gonna fucking die.
Now you listen to me, jerk-off. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. Quit being part of the fucking problem and put the other guy back on.
And by that point in time, I could see them actually overthrowing, or at least forcing the government to step down, them contacting the Americans, and pleading on their knees to basically save their horrible French asses! And then the airborne gets sent in, or at least, in this case, I could actually see American bases being set up within the Magus Imperium, or at least the otherworldly France. Because of course we could. I mean, hell, we did the same thing during World War II when we took over a Japanese island. We just built up a fucking Air Force base right there on the goddamn runway while still under fire. And we had planes fucking going off and landing the whole goddamn time. Vietnam, same thing. We just popped up a damn Air Force base right there for our choppers and jets to basically come in, land, refuel, rearm, go out and basically barbecue motherfuckers. I can see the same thing happening here. And because Ron has confirmed that, yes, the Magus is essentially does have jungle areas, I can see the airborne going full on fucking literally air cav on their asses and doing what air cav does best. Let's go! Come in, guns a-blazing. Blasting some Vietnam music, or even fucking Ride of the Goddamn Valkyries.
Hey, what a shot!
Outstanding, red team, outstanding. Get your case of beer for that.
And sending every Nazi son of a bitch, elf motherfucker to hell!
Big dude, 6. Clear the area, I'm coming down myself. These people never give up.
And of course the Air Force doing its thing of dropping goddamn napalm on sons of bitches and barbecuing them to hell. That's kind of my speculation on the next couple chapters. Will it happen? We'll have to wait and see. And if Ron, for the love of God, if I do not see the army, and I mean this full-heartedly, Ron, if I do not see the army with boots on the ground, basically liberating this other world of France like we did during WW2, I will reach through this camera and I will open palm smack some sense into you, boy! Anyway, let me know in the comment section down below what you thought of these 3 chapters, and I will leave a link down there to the interlude chapter as well as the other chapters if you want to actually read them for yourself. And would you kindly consider supporting Ron on Patreon? He has a Patreon. Go check it out. Go check out his Discord. I'm actually in the Discord. I love talking with the fan base there, especially the readers. We all have fun going back and forth, and there is so much freedom in the America and Other World chat that, my God, Uncle Sam and even Lady Liberty herself is shedding a tear for how much freedom's in there. And would you kindly consider donating to the PayPal down below? As always, ladies and gentlemen, it's you folks that actually help support the channel. It's you guys who actually help keep the channel alive. And would you kindly consider leaving a like, dislike, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, all that good horse shit. And, yeah. As always, ladies and gentlemen, I will see all you lovely people in the next video. Till next time. Seriously, Ron, get the fucking army here or I'm gonna smack the shit out of you.